Live now, and I am so excited to host this show today where we're going to talk about a journey that has been worth listening because, like we always listen about all these things where people go through a lot of hardships and then we don't know, what happens sometimes because we just know what they have encountered, but not always that we know that they came through with it, or people have been given life sentences where basically, they've been told that, this is it. Like there's things that are beyond control of science and what, medical conclusions can be. And that's what we are excited. And with that, we're going to bring in our guest, Anne Marie Arnold.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello.
So
All
we are
right.
live, Anne Marie, and I am so grateful to have you on here today because, no matter what, we're going to make this happen because we had a lot of challenges getting started and getting Anne Marie on board, but it's all good. We're here, and that's what matters, right, Anne Marie?
Absolutely. Everything happens for a reason. Timing is timing. It's just the way it's meant to be. And sometimes we try to take control of things and then we get smacked upside the head like, no, that's not the way it's going to work.
Absolutely. Um, so, Anne Marie, let's get started with understanding who you are, what's your journey been, and how we can basically narrate your story where our people can understand that there is so much more beyond what's actually been sold to us, right? Because
Yes,
uh,
ma'am.
you are the living example. I call you the miracle life because if people only knew what you've been through and what you're doing now, they would be blown away. And I think this will be a very empowering story for anyone who needs strength today.
I agree. I still draw strength from it every time I sit and think about it and count my blessings for being mindful enough and aware enough to know that I needed to take control of my life
You
because
did. You did. So tell us about like where you grew up and, your life, early stages, and then what happened, basically.
well, I grew up in a small town up in upstate New York called Waterloo, New York, which is the birthplace of Memorial Day if we want to bring that into it. Um, it's a nice little town. It's a quiet little town. There's a lot of industry there. You know, we had Evans Cosmetics, which was just down the street and around the corner from us. And they were spewing their chemicals from their factory into the river right there in Waterloo, which channeled through the lakes, and the lakes are not landlocked. Therefore, that water's being dispersed everywhere. But, anyways, this is my story from a child. I seem to always have issues, even from the time I was a baby. And one thing led to another. It was just disease was manifesting on top of disease, and one was perpetuating the other. Um, my parents didn't know about nutrition. My mom knew that we needed to eat fruits and vegetables. She made sure we always had lots of fruits and vegetables. I guess that's where I get my fruits and vegetables thing from, is my mom. And I pass that on to my children, but no one was taught about nutrition. It just wasn't talked about. It was just everybody did what they did, which caused a lot of health problems. I had mono twice as a kid, which is an autoimmune, and then it went on to viral meningitis, and I could not pick my head up. I was flat, sick. Then I went from that to appendicitis. From that, I went to having 3 children and a hysterectomy. Um, from that, I went I got hurt at work in 12/29 of '88, and I developed what they call, the label for that is CRPS, chronic regional pain syndrome. Um, Causalgia, Raynaud's phenomena. I mean, they've got so many names for the same thing, but for insurance purposes, they like to change things up that way. There, it's coded and it can get paid for through insurance. This is how this whole dog and pony show goes. Anyway, I
But
was
if
in a
you think
wheelchair.
about it, the underlying of all these diagnoses is bad immune system, not proper nutrition, and chronic inflammation.
Absolutely. And it was just, I was bombarded. I mean, bombarded with it. I didn't realize, I was like everybody else. I like that hot dog and I like that pork. And when I got older and my daughter became an herbalist, and we started learning more and more about nutrition then. And she got into that to try to help her mom because she was really concerned about my health. I mean, being in a wheelchair for 17 years, having a stroke, having stents put in my heart, um, diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I mean, it just kept one on top of the other. It just kept compiling, compiling, compiling. And it tried to put me down. And it did for a long time, a good 34 years of my life, trying to fight this back, but I did it. And I want everybody out there to know you can do it too. We're here to help. Um, Not during one time out of all those doctor visits, this breaks my heart. Not one time did they ever mention nutrition. Never talked to me about my diet, never asked me what I consumed or how I consumed it. Um, that
It's
is,
almost like your health problems has nothing to do with your diet and lifestyle. That's how they act.
and that's not it at all. It's
It's
100%
everything.
diet.
Yes.
It really
But
is.
then their incentive is to keep people sick.
Well, there's no money in wellness for doctors and pharma. I mean, if you really stop and think about it, if you want to get right down to the nitty gritty of it, how can they continue being who they are and doing what they're doing? They're harming people. I'm here to tell you, they're harming people. They're doing a lot of damage, and they don't understand the damage that it's causing. And then people like you and myself and Dr. Kent and all the rest, Dr. Brittany McCoy, all of you, we're all in this together trying to make a difference, trying to make this change for people. We just need people to understand the depths of what it took for me to come back from what I came back from. I don't want to see that for anybody else. I mean, I was on a morphine pump for 2.5 years, 365 milligrams of morphine running through my body. It took me a year and a half, no joke, to get that out of my system. It seeped through my skin, and it was the most putrid smell you ever wanted to smell in your life. Um, I've
Just
got. I'm
sounds
gonna.
disgusting. It's like you're like a sewage system for big pharma, you know?
That's
And
exactly it.
Henry, we're just sharing a true story here. We're not here to make claims. We're not here to sabotage anything. We're just
No.
talking real stuff. We're just talking what has happened, how you've overcome all the challenges and the diagnosis, and now you're disease free, thriving business owner, like making money, traveling, and spending time with your kids, having the best time of your life. So that one disclaimer, like nobody should get offended because Anne Marie has gone through the pains of going through many, many hardships with her health and her, finances and different challenges. And she's just sharing that. Like, let's be respectful of that. And what I would say, Anne Marie, is you should talk about how you ended up on the wheelchair and how many years you were on it.
Oh, that was a tough one. Everybody thought that I was in the wheelchair because of the MS, and it was not the MS that put me in the wheelchair. It was the disease that I had in my body the neurological deficits that were going on in my body because of the neurological damage that was done. Reflex sympathetic dystrophy is where the nerve gets damaged. And I've had a lot of damaged nerves, and I still have a lot of damaged nerves. Can they rejuvenate? Absolutely, they can. It takes a long time. I've had 6 major back surgeries. I've got more titanium cages, screws, plates, and rods in my body than you could, even in my neck. Um, when you sit that long and you're sedentary that long, and then you work so hard to get up and get moving again, and you don't quite do it right because you didn't have anybody to help you to to know what to do. So I just kind of took it upon myself to do what I felt was right. Because before all of that, I was big into bodybuilding. And that's what saved me, to be honest with you, is my body was in such good physical shape when this accident happened at work that the doctors even told me, and this is what saved you, is the fact that your body was in such good physical shape. I can't say that my body's in that great physical shape now, but it's getting there. It's process, you know.
I mean, you just had a wedding that you actually conducted, and you were the reverend,
Yes,
and you look phenomenal. I saw the pictures, and isn't that a beautiful feeling to be around your loved ones and be there for them? Like, if it was up to whatever diagnosis you were given, you'd be gone by now if it wasn't the willpower that you have.
I have a purpose here, and purpose driven by seeing others not go through what I had to go through. That's my purpose here. I'm here to help anybody I can, because there is no fun in being sick. There's no fun being laid up in a hospital bed in your living room for 3 years, or your kids having to ride in an ambulance with you because you're in so much pain you can't take it. There was a time you couldn't even lay a tissue across my leg without me screaming. I mean, it was terrible. Um, and by the grace of God, there go I. But the wedding was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. Um, I'm honored. I get very emotional. This month has been a very emotional time for me. Very emotional time for me. And well, my birthday's Sunday too. And being a Pisces and an Aquarian, yeah. And then family things.
Absolutely. Do we have a surprise guest here? And is Bambi joining us?
Oh, I don't know.
I have Bambi on here. I'm not sure if she's
I
available
bet
to
I sent
chat.
her the wrong link.
I think so.
That's what it
But
was. I sent her the wrong link.
okay. Yeah, so she got onto the wrong link, but we can actually have a separate session with her, and let's do a proper like session with Bambi.
That sounds
So my question for you, Anne Maria, is that what was it that, like, what are the steps you took, and how you got the willpower to basically go through like 18 years on wheelchair is what how long you were on there? And
17 plus years, yeah. When I had the
17 plus.
stroke, I ended up back in it for about 6 months after my stroke. Um, but I worked very diligently, very hard, because I knew I've already did it once, so I knew I could do it again.
Wow. Yeah, and that was a short period right after it. So you're like, okay, if I could be on wheelchair for 17 years and get up again, then the stroke is nothing now almost. Wow.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's so powerful and empowering to know that there is a way out there. You just have to have the right support. And tell us about like your energy work and how you got into it and what made you go through all the steps of becoming a Reiki master.
Reiki has saved my life. Energy work has saved my life. Being clairaudient, clairsentient, clairvoyant, all of that has helped. When I got off all the drugs, okay, yeah, I was on a lot of drugs. They were pharmaceuticals. Um, when I finally realized this stuff isn't helping me, it's hindering me. And I just, one by one, just let them go. My doctor was furious. He was so upset. I said, look, I'm not going to continue to take things. It's not going to help me. This is just making matters worse. It's causing more problems. And then you got to give me a pill to counteract that pill, and then another pill to counteract that pill. It's kind of that doesn't make any common sense to me. But anyway, I got into Reiki as another tool, as another avenue to help people, because when our body is in a state of quiet, when we bring ourselves into that state of quiet, that 0 point within ourselves, the body can heal. And then when you give it the nutritional support that it needs, it can truly heal. They run hand in hand. They're linked together. Energy work, nutrition, yoga, all it's all here for a purpose. It's not just some woo woo stuff that somebody created or made up. That I can assure you. I've seen a lot of
How could we deny that? Like our existence is all like we know it's physics. It's not like some gimmick. This is physics. Energy can never be destroyed. It can only
hey,
from one body to another. Sorry about that, guys. But talking about energy, isn't energy everything? Like we feel the energy of the room, we feel the energy of the people that we are around, energy that we like. It's a feeling which is actually what governs us, right? Like
yes.
when we go to a new place, we're sensing the energy in a way, which is giving us the feelings because energy is not seen, but feelings are felt. It's definitely like symbiotic and you can't deny.
For me, I'm really really sensitive to energy. It's like the more I have allowed myself to open up, the more sensitive I become to things, the more I see things, the more I hear things. I see colors. Colors seem to be an amazing thing for me. They tell me a lot. Just like with our scanner, the colors on that scanner tell me so much about an individual. It's not even so much the score as it is the color for me. And
Right. It tells you so much and yet a lot of people can't see anything. Isn't that crazy?
I know, and if we
No.
could see, oh my goodness, I see the chakras in color. And when you can see the chakras within somebody and they're muddled, they're not the colors that they need to be. I've literally seen people when I've done energy work on them where their root chakra will be up where their heart chakra is, and their heart chakra will be where their sacral is. It's nuts. And then I have to energetically move things around to get the balance back within the body. It's an amazing it's an amazing experience. It really is. And then for some people, like some of my students that I've attuned, don't see the color, but they get a feeling like a vibration, and they go on that vibration. It gets strong or it gets really weak, or it's just gets really intense. Everybody has a story, everybody, and we all need everybody needs healing from something. We really do. We've got so
You're
much
so right.
trauma, so much trauma.
I agree. And that's why knowing how to tap into your highest potentials to heal the body with the
Yes,
right support system, the right, modalities and right practitioners is the key. Like, isn't it funny, like how we met, like you were looking for a functional practitioner and I was looking for a Reiki master and we became each other's clients and that's how our journey started
we sure
and
did.
look where we are now. You are thriving, and we knew that like your MS and diabetes and other things is gonna come to an end where you will live a life which is high quality and manageable. But that first year was, a lot of work.
You're not kidding, it was. But we did it. We did it.
We did it, and that's what it is. Like, I can't do it for anyone if they are not willing to do it either. That partnership
You
has
got
to
to commit
come.
to yourself. If you don't commit to yourself, you can't commit to nobody. And I committed to myself because I was worth it. I wanted to see my children grow up. I wanted to see my grandchildren grow up. Now I've got great grandchildren I'm having fun with. I'm like, are you kidding me? And I don't have to do it from sitting in a wheelchair.
I know it would have been such a devastating life, right? To live like that, and not everybody has the willpower. And how did you gather that?
My faith, my faith is
Your faith
so,
over fear.
yes,
Fear of
faith over
death
fear. I
couldn't
don't
touch
have fear.
you.
I look at fear and I go, that's what I do is fear. No, I don't have time for that because fear is just something that we manifest within ourselves when we don't have the confidence within ourselves to do what we need to do for ourselves. And it's just look in the mirror, baby. Look in the mirror and see how beautiful you are. Look at your heart. Go through your eyes. Don't look at this. My goodness, look at these wrinkles. I don't care. That's not who I am. It doesn't define me. It's what's inside of me that defines me. And I had to learn that. It's a value.
Absolutely. That's the power, is that you have to do a lot of inner work. And I think Reiki really helped you with understanding yourself, who you are, what's your life purpose, what's your true calling,
Yes,
and how do you want to put all that together to get paid, basically.
absolutely. And it's with everything that I do, and it's hard for me to market myself because I
I
do
agree.
have so many. Um, I've got so much knowledge. I've got such a different understanding of life than most people have. Um, Everybody questions me because I'm not afraid of death. To me, death is just a rebirth. I've died many times. It's not like I haven't done it before. And it's like, woohoo, let's go again. At least the next
Yeah,
time I come
you're
back, I don't have to
very
work
old
on all of
soul.
this. Yeah. Um, we've been taught to fear things that we should
We've
not.
been taught to fear everything. We've been taught to fear living. We've been taught to fear death.
Yes.
Like, you can't live like that. You can't live like
No. No, I don't even own a TV. The kids say, "Hey, the Sunday they had the Super Bowl on. Mom, you gonna come watch the Super Bowl?" No, I got better things to do in my time. Sorry.
that. Exactly. Me too.
I
I
mean,
I
the Super
mean,
Bowl was fun. I think they're kids. They
it's
enjoyed
fun.
it.
I'm not gonna lie, and you gotta have fun with the family and things that other people are enjoying. So there's a time and place for everything, but the point is that we want to basically empower others to understand that living with fear is not going to get them what they want from this life, and having faith over fear is what's going to begin their healing journey. Like, you did it for yourself, I did it for myself, and we know hundreds of other clients now. You're helping so many people as Reiki practitioner and functional practitioner yourself with nutrition, that, like, it's phenomenal to see. Like, talk about one of the older client that you have that couldn't see and was, almost going blind, and like, what a blessing how she feels now.
She has macula degeneration, and I put her on some eye formula. Well, first I scanned her and saw where she was at, and she was not in a good state. She's had three three eye surgeries already. Um, when I started her on the protocol, which was now 6 months ago, she couldn't see the chair across the room. Now she can more than see the chair across the room. She can actually see into her computer room, which is quite a distance. And
Wow,
I'm
that is
like,
powerful. How old is this lady?
she's 82, almost 83.
Like, I'm not talking let's live 200 years, but you're here. You have to live every day that you're here. Might as well live quality.
Absolutely. I mean, she can get back on her computer now. She can read her emails. She can do her jewelry. She loves to make jewelry and she does some beautiful work. Um, she used to have horses and she had to give up the
Wow,
horses. Yeah.
this is a quality
She's all
person.
by herself
And
and she's a strong woman.
right, and this is a high quality person who must have had a very fulfilling, productive life, and then now with aging, we just kind of take the norm. Oh, that's just how it's supposed to be. No, she needs help and the support, and she can then have a better life and quality life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've introduced her to a few other things along the lines. And I've had a couple
You give
Reiki
her
sessions with
healing
her.
sessions with Reiki and Reiki massage and all that good stuff. So
Yep.
she can have that, energy to continue with whatever she's committed to do in her day to day. You mean just because you're 82 doesn't mean that you're
Oh, no, no.
better
And
than.
the amazing thing with Reiki massage, and I want to point this out, when you have a practitioner that is clean, and I'm clean, my body's clean, therefore the energy that I exude is clean as well. And to me, that's very important in my practice. I don't want to be eating garbage and then going over there and working on somebody because I'm sorry, you just don't do that. It doesn't mix. It doesn't mix well at all. You when you step into something that's so sacred, you want to practice it in the same manner. You want to honor it, give honor to it. Uh, it's given me my life back. Why wouldn't I honor it? Um,
Exactly.
but
So it
even at 82 years old, doing a Reiki massage, you're putting literally putting my hands on people, and my Reiki is on. My Reiki just turned on actually sitting here talking about it. Um, so all of you are going to get a dose of me today.
that's awesome. That's awesome. And
um, Monza, you've had a Reiki session with me.
I did. I
It
did, and it
wasn't a
was
massage Reiki
magical.
session, but yeah.
Yeah, it was magical. I fell asleep right away. That means it was working.
Mm-hmm.
And when I woke up, even though I'd had a long, long day from the business symposiums we were doing all day, I felt like, wow, this was just amazing. Like, you can feel it when a good Reiki master gives you Reiki, you feel it.
Absolutely. I've literally knocked people out for hours. I don't mean to, it just happens. Obviously, their body needs it to reset it because I really believe that's what Reiki does, Qigong, all of that. It's all the same energy. Yoga, they're all, it's all energy work. It all comes from the same source. We have one source and it all comes from the same source. We just have different ways of channeling it. That's all. But it's all the same. So keep in mind out there that Reiki, Qigong, yoga, all of these acupuncture, acupressure, reflexology, all of these are alternative medicines and they help the body. The body needs to get into a homeostasis state where it can relax so that it can do what it needs to do.
I say let's start calling it the real medicine. It's not alternative.
That's exactly what it is. It is.
That's the real medicine.
Yeah,
The
it's been
other
around a lot
stuff
longer,
is
I'll tell
not
you
even
that.
worth alternative.
And I
Um,
practice the native ways. I'm very, very strong in native tradition. Um, I follow the moons. I follow the four directions, the sun, the water, the earth. I give back to Mother Earth every day. I come out and thank her for even the raindrops. You know, it's all a blessing. Every bit of it's a
oh
blessing.
yeah, nature is honestly the miracle that we want to see every day. Like just go and see outside. Like how do you not see it? It's
That's
just
where I thrive. When I was driving down here from Indiana and I'm looking at the mountains and the birds and they had an ice storm, so the trees were all crystallized on them and I'm like, "Oh, it's like little crystals hanging there, you know." But it was really
absolutely.
beautiful to appreciate
There's
the
a lot to
beauty.
appreciate. it. And that's why I'm grateful that, you came on board with Functional Wellness Network, and, you're committed and you're showing a lot of other people the way, because if you can go through so many hardships and still be here and thrive and actually be a business owner and drive. And I remember when I was in Chicago, you drove almost 2.5 hours each way. That was 5 hours of driving in that one day.
Eight
um,
hours. It was 4 hours there and 4 hours back.
wow,
Uh,
that's something. So you came and visited, that amazing. Like, just those little things, I don't think people can really comprehend the magnitude of what a good health can do, like a body that has optimum health can do. And that's what we want to show, basically, to our people, that there is a way and you don't have to suffer, and that's why we can help you.
Yes. Yes. All you got to do is get a hold of us. We're here.
Absolutely. So, absolute pleasure, Anne Marie, having you here. I'm gonna put your profile link in the chat here so that people can actually get in touch with you.
That
Um,
would be wonderful. And also, if people would keep into mind that Reiki, I don't have to be present to deliver that energy. I do a lot of long distance healings, and I'm telling you, they work. They
yes,
work.
that's the thing, that you could get a remote Reiki session with her and go get her Reiki session and talk to her about nutrition and how she has changed her life, and also has said no to many diagnoses that were given to her. One
Those
being
aren't mine to
diabetes.
carry. They were never
No,
mine to carry.
those are not to you for you to carry. So no diabetes, no MS, and just thrive, thrive, thrive. So yes, reach out to Anne Marie and we'll bring her back. Talk more about let's just talk more about all the energy work out there, and then how different modalities are different in the way it can accentuate the health. And maybe we can bring on Bambi next time.
That would be nice. That would be really nice. There's a lot of Reiki practitioners out there on LinkedIn, and I'm looking to connect with as many as I possibly can.
Yeah,
Um,
bring
even
them.
those that want to learn, please.
Yeah, bring them
I'm
to
not
our
one to. I'm just not
FWN
one to
live.
put it out there because Reiki is a very sacred energy to me, and it's not something that I'm going to just attune somebody to. I mean, I'll
Absolutely.
attune you to a level one, but other than that, I got to see some fruits of your honor in it. When I see your honor
Absolutely.
in
It's
it,
not for everyone. And you're right. Like, it has to be, Reiki will pick you. That's what
yeah,
happens.
yes, it does. Yes, it does. And my daughter's a Reiki master as well.
Wow, that is powerful. Like mom, like daughter.
We're like two peas in a pod.
That is amazing. All right, so Emery, we wish you healthy and happy journey in Florida, and we'll touch base again with you. Thank you for your time, dear.
Thank you, Dr. Mundo.